incredibly embarrassing to talk about, but I used to be a radical far leftist.
Look at that.
I used to be the worst kind of liberal.
Look at that. Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one for you. So guys, Charlie Kirk's assassin is in custody, and guys, we all knew that it would be some woke dunderhead, right, who had for a boyfriend or whatever, come on. Absolutely insane, guys. Hey guys, I think that this really is going to push a lot of young men, well, men in general, more towards the right, or at least towards being independents, because I see a lot of people on social media who I think they consider themselves to be on the left only because they hated the orange man, right? Or they were afraid of the label conservative. Well, now guys, they've had it, right? They've had it and they're leaving the left. People were so shocked at how moronic and how dunderheaded these wokey wokes were when they were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. And it really, really did piss a lot of people off, and they are leaving the Democrats, right? And guys, I don't blame them. Guys, there is no place for anyone who has some common sense on the left. And there's especially no place for men, productive, ambitious, assertive males on the left. Absolutely insane. Guys, here we have a compilation of people who are on TikTok, and they're saying that they've officially left the left because of what happened to Charlie Kirk and how these dunderheads in the party of tolerance reacted. So guys, we'll get into this. Before we do, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I have a second channel called 51304s. That is linked in the description. Please go and check that out. Guys, join my Discord. Check out the playlist at the end. And I'm offering memberships now. So guys, hit the link, description, and the join button, because memberships really help the channel out a lot. Thanks to all you guys that are already members. And let's get into this. Guys, wait, hold on. Look at this chick, right? Look. Guys, the tattoos, right? Oh, and guys, she has that butterfly tattoo. So guys, we all know what that means, right?
You tell her she's a goddamn whore.
I am no longer on the left, even as a lesbian. And yes, I'm going to read what I wrote down because it's quite a list. It has been maybe half a decade, maybe even more, that I've decided to leave the left, and this is why. What I have observed is that the community pretends to fight for inclusivity, diversity, and freedom. But I've seen with my very own eyes for years now that realistically they fight for one-way thinking, the demonization of specific groups that are other than them, and the cancelization of freedom of speech. They say they care about human life and people who are victims of war, but advocate for the killing of the most vulnerable type of human life form in existence. They fight against the legalization of guns, but cheer when guns are used to assassinate a man who simply had a different opinion.
There you go.
They cancel free speech under the label of hate speech, when often enough, it's not hate speech, it's just speech they hate. Not to mention the complete lack of self-awareness to go from saying somebody is speaking hate speech and follow up with saying some of the most disgusting and degrading things to humans I have ever heard. Don't even get me started on the GoFundMe that was made for the murderer of that innocent girl. There have been too many examples of narcissism, manipulative abuse, gaslighting, closed-minded and anti-growth promotions within the community that I'm very proud to say that as the first letter of the LGBT, being gay does not automatically mean that I have to share the same sickening, in my opinion, views as the left. Why would my sexuality, gender, race, or anything for that matter have to do with where I land politically? And quite honestly, I hear more LGBT members complaining about being misgendered than any other actual hate crime happening in the world. If being misgendered is your main point of how you're being oppressed in this country, I would consider you to be very privileged, because there are actual, real issues that need healing in the world more than your gender pronouns. My mind, body, and soul knows where love is, and I do not feel that in the community. Yes, there are positive and negative on both sides, but overall, I have been my most mentally healthy, happy, and filled with self-love person since I decided to think more for myself and not allow others to dictate what I should and shouldn't believe in order to fit their agenda. It is getting painfully obvious now that no one is going to be fucking with that energy anymore, and you guys are about to lose a large percentage of your community. I'm already seeing it everywhere online. Hopefully this is a wake-up call. You all need to look inwards, There's no shame in realizing maybe there are some things inside of me that need to be looked at and healed in order to be the best version of myself, and also, therefore, better for the people that are around me.
So there you go, guys. And guys, I agree with this person, right? And guys, this person right here, you know,
lesbian.
Guys, we all know that the lesbians were being kicked out of the left, you know, the moment that they said that they actually like biological chicks and not, you know. But guys, what she said about the whole victimhood thing. Guys, I'm from Seattle, Washington, so I grew up like a wokey woke, right? And then in my mid-20s, I kind of like came to my senses. And I got rid of that victimhood mentality. Guys, that leftist victimhood mentality makes you miserable. It really does. To think that everyone has it better than you, who's successful, you know, and you're a victim and blah, blah, blah. And you make first world problems into quote unquote real problems in your eyes, and they're not. Absolutely insane. Person says, yes, I think people are waking up. Woke means something different. Someone says the left is done. Facts. Look at that, guys. Clown world.
What really blows me about liberals, and this is coming from somebody that used to be a hardcore fucking liberal and leftist, is that y'all really follow trends and like fads to give a fuck about, right? You're all up in arms about Gaza. What's happening in Gaza is nothing short of a genocide. I agree with you. I don't think it should be fucking happening. But what about what's happening in the US?
There you go.
And this is coming from somebody, I was a foster kid. I aged out of foster care. I have been homeless in California. I have lost people to overdoses. I have lost people to being murdered. I have lost people to suicide. Like I have lost people to real life shit in our own fucking country. I've been through more pain and trauma than you can even fucking wrap your head around. And where's the riots for that?
Nobody cares. Exactly.
Like, where is y'all giving a fuck about that? Like, I know some liberals, they're great fucking people. They give a fuck. They give back to the community. They have fucking common sense. But most of you sit up here on the fucking internet all day talking shit to people because they don't agree with you, but don't give a fuck about anybody else around you. You just want to follow the fucking hate train, and you don't have a singular fucking brain cell and nothing to fucking stand on. You haven't struggled a day in your fucking life and don't know what it's like to even fucking struggle. And you want to sit up here and make a mockery of someone's passing. It's absolutely fucking disgusting and embarrassing, and that's why so many people have left being a Democrat and a liberal. That's because you guys are fucking hateful. You literally preach against being hateful, and then you're fucking hateful. Like, be for fucking real.
There you go, guys. Right? See? I feel the same way. We're the party of tolerance. They go low, we go high, please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Come on. Person says people literally weaponize Gaza. Yep. Someone says heavily on following trends. Yep, that's true. Look at that, guys. Look at that. And guys, it is true. No one cares about homeless veterans. No one cares about the opioid overdosing. Guys, no one cares that Flint, Michigan still doesn't have water. Absolutely insane. Clown world.
The death of Charlie Kirk has actually fundamentally changed the rules of the game.
It's true.
At least for me. I actually have never uploaded this type of content specifically to this TikTok page. And I'm actually resurrecting it because of the death of Charlie Kirk. Because back in 2020, I used to be on the other side. I voted for Joe Biden back in 2020. And then 4 years later, I voted for Donald Trump. And it's insane to me that a political party that says that they have my best interests in mind as an African American are willing to go to no end to destroy not only the things that I stand for, but the things that I believe in as a Christian, as a husband, as a father, and as a fellow American who loves this country and believes that the United States still is and has the potential to be the greatest nation on the face of the earth. And there are those people that are out there that will sit back and they will laugh and they will ridicule and they will judge, even though they say that is not what they stand for. And at this point, anything that they say, Anything that the media says, believe the opposite, because that's where the truth actually lies. They tell you a vaccine is good for you, it's not. They tell you that Joe Biden is a good president, he wasn't. They tell you that Donald Trump is Hitler, he's not. They tell you that they're there to support the migrants and the Hispanics and the African Americans, but they're not. They say that they care about the working class, but they don't. Anything that they say, flip it upside down, and that's the actual truth. Think about it.
There you go, guys. And guys, he's the one who added all that music in the background. I don't know why, right? I know it's a little loud, but try and read the subtitles, guys. I don't know. I don't understand it, but yeah, guys, you know, like he said, he voted for Weekend at Bernie's in 2020 and then changed his vote to Orange Man. You guys know how many people that I know, they voted for Obama and then voted for Orange Man in 2016, you know? Look at that. Insane. Clown world.
So I'm here sitting in my car. I'm at my son's soccer practice. I was watching him. As I'm watching him, I'm obviously consumed by so many posts and stories about Charlie Kirk passing away, or not passing away, being assassinated. And some of you are wild. Like, you really need Jesus. You need to be saved. You need Christ in your life. To be posting and saying that he deserved it, that it was karma, that you have no empathy towards this man, towards this man's wife and 2 children. It's insane to me that you guys have no empathy towards someone just because he had a difference of opinion and he was going out to college universities to have a normal conversation, to have a debate, to have a respectful dialogue with a lot of young people. And it's fine. Nobody ever has to agree. Or else, if we all got physical with each other because we didn't agree with what each other had to say or believes, we would all be beating each other up. Like, not one person is going to have the same stance on everything. And it's insane to me how this world is just sick. There's never a reason to applaud somebody's death because of their political stance or their opinion or their point of view. And honestly, it just breaks my heart because this man was still a person. He had a family and he was a man of Christ, trying to spread the word of Christ because our country needs it. It is being consumed by so much hate and sickness, people that are mentally ill applauding this. Like, I have no words. And some of these people are people that are on my friends list. Like, I had to remove a lot of these people because it's insane to me that this is the way that their brain works. I could never. No matter how much I disliked someone, I would never ever wish this upon them or celebrate it. I don't get it.
Do that, guys. See? Yep. There's another one. Clown world.
Since leaving the Democratic Party, I no longer have an depressed mindset. I hold myself accountable for my actions. I'm closer to God. I don't judge people off their skin tone. I go off character. I'm just more happier. My name is Tiffany. I lost 150 pounds in 2.5 years. I also report different news topics. Tap in.
There you go, guys. So, I've left the Democrats. I'm not this oppressed black person. You know? Guys, this is just anyone who has more of a conservative mindset. Because I remember once someone told me when I was young, part of growing old or part of becoming an adult is becoming a conservative. And it's true, guys. Once you actually have, retirement, a good job, a house, things you've worked for, all of a sudden you aren't a liberal anymore. Clown world.
Post on TikTok saying no one deserves to be killed for sharing their opinion, whether I agree with that opinion or not. No one deserves to be killed for sharing a thought, because that sets a very scary precedent for anyone in this country, whether they're left or right, whether they're speaking about politics or religion or fashion or whatever. No one should be killed for having an opinion, even if we disagree on that opinion. And my comments were flooded with left-leaning people telling me that I was a Nazi, that I supported genocide, that I was a racist.
Look
all
at
of these
that.
things. We're just making one statement that applies to every single political party. And the left wonders why they're losing people. It's because you guys approach people like this who make a statement that applies to your party as well. No one should be killed for sharing an opinion. And this is the way that you guys approach people. Telling me to kill myself and calling me fat and ugly and all of these things. This is why the left is losing people, guys.
She's right, guys. Right? This person says the left practice what they say they hate. Violence, hate speech, and fascism. Facts. This person says just remember that the left are the biggest hypocrites going. Yep. Look at that. And guys, this person says, I think anger comes from the fact that people are being killed every day. And maybe you aren't speaking up about them, but you would speak up about this. Guys, Charlie Kirk was executed in public, in the public square. Literally in front of thousands of people. And the clip was viral and was seen by probably hundreds of millions of people. Absolutely insane. That's nowhere near the same thing. Insane, guys. Look at that. Clown world.
Incredibly embarrassing to talk about, but I used to be a radical far leftist.
Look at
I
that.
used to be the worst kind of liberal. Here's what de-radicalized and deprogrammed me from that dangerous, hateful ideology. And after hearing other stories of de-radicalization, this is what seems to work the best. Unfortunately, this de-radicalization method is heavily circumstantial. But if the circumstance and the opportunity comes up, please take it, because I firmly believe that the person that you love that's been swallowed by this hateful ideology can be normal again. In order for de-radicalization to happen, you need to understand how the far left works. It's honestly quite simple. It's held together by two pillars. The first pillar is their ideology. They firmly believe that they are personally helpless and eternal underdogs. It's almost like an oversimplification of classic storytelling. They believe that they are the small underdog good guys fighting against some evil, oppressive bad guys.
And that's what Jordan Peterson said, guys. Right? That's what Jordan Peterson said. Let's pump the brakes. They boil every interaction into oppressed and oppressor, and then automatically assign the moral high ground to the perceived oppressed, right? Guys, that is the dumbest thing that you can do. So take any two groups and it's binary. One is oppressed and the other one is the oppressor.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Clown world.
And they firmly believe that they are morally and ideologically perfect. This is how they're able to hold views that to normal people might seem rather contradictory. For example, calling themselves an LGBT ally while simultaneously supporting people that throw gays off the roof. This fits perfectly in their oppressor versus oppressed worldview. This is also why they aggressively deflect from any failings of their leaders or their ideology. This is why they say things like, real communism has never been tried, because they firmly believe their ideologies are just, that they're perfect. And the only reason that they're not implemented is because of the big bad oppressors. The second pillar is the content and media that they consume. This content serves two purposes. Number one is to reinforce their already existing beliefs, that they are never wrong, that they are always justified, and they're always the oppressed fighting against the oppressors. And second, this media gives them new targets to attack. Now, this is the part that's very important. This is the part where you have to pay attention. Sometimes the media attacks something or someone that the person you're trying to de-radicalize knows really, really well. And this media will lie about who and what they're trying to attack. The person you're trying to de-radicalize needs to be able to see that lie. This will lead to a lot of internal conflict. And eventually the person will make the realization of, oh, if they lied about that thing I really, really know a lot about, what else have they been lying about? Yep. That is when the grip of their media and ideological echo chamber will be broken. It can honestly feel overwhelming. It was for me. So pay very close attention to what the far left is trying to demonize next. And they do it a lot. They can't help themselves. They need to keep their state of revolution going. This is why the range of ideas acceptable in the far left is constantly shrinking. So yeah, keep an eye out, because every liberal lie is another opportunity to save someone from their clutches.
This is what I say all the time. The woke people aren't even moving the goalpost. There is no goalpost. They just say, go that way. You know what I'm saying? There's so much money in this whole woke thing too. All these NGOs and all these non-profits. Guys, if now and all these ethnicist organizations actually had a goal that they were held accountable to, they'd have been fired or deconstructed a long time ago. Look at that. This guy says, ex-lefty here. Catching media lies is what broke me. Facts. Guys, I used to be this guy. I used to be a super woke thunderhead, man. Look at that. You know what? Props to this guy, you know? Props to him. Round of applause for him. Look at that. Clown world.
Kirk thing kind of put the nail in the coffin of me being a Democrat. I was slowly moving away from it anyway because I was noticing certain things, but I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not a Republican either, but I'm not a Democrat. And I just noticed, like, certain things, like the way that the conversation would be shut down by calling somebody a name or calling somebody a bigot. It's like, okay, and why am I a bigot just because I disagree with you? Like, I can disagree with you and still not want anything bad for you. I just disagree. And it's like, you know, oh, you're personally committing violence against me if you disagree. It's like, that's a cop-out. And I would notice certain things like that. I would notice that I was being intentionally angered every 4 years so that I would go out and vote. It would be a new token thing to like get behind. Oh, if you don't vote this year, this thing's gonna happen and everything's gonna be taken away. But then the next year, none of those things would happen. So I was just being gaslit every single time. And it's crazy because like I didn't recognize it, but you know, as I started to just see it, I started to see how like it's one thing to believe in something, it's another thing to tell somebody they're bad if they don't, especially if the view is wacky, crazy, and all the way out there. You know, canceling somebody for something that they did when they was 8 years old, for something that they said when they was 8 years old, and that thing wasn't even a slur back then. It's like, what do we like do? Like, people can't grow, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a way to keep people in control. And if you don't think exactly how I think, if you ever step in line, I can just like, you know, take away, you know what I'm trying to say? And it was just very controlling, but just very evil. And like the moral superiority, the moral high horse, and the performative activism was crazy. Like, oh, we are so oppressed, and go, like ride the Starbucks. It's like there's actually people that are in different countries, and like that's very disrespectful to them to say that you're oppressed like that. Like, you know, I would debate people down. And here's the thing, I had to come to realization that like I would go online to see what I should feel about a subject instead of actually saying what I did feel about the subject, to see what they were saying, and I would hop on it. And I had to be honest, I was hopping on bandwagons. And yes, it was when I was younger, but as I just grew older, I'm like, this not it. And finally, when it comes to the death of somebody, it's like, it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter what they think. Nobody deserves that. I could see if you just heard about it, but you saw it on camera and you still saying you ain't sad about it. That's like your humanity is now lost. Like, politics is making like some of them crazy. And that's why I was just like, oh, y'all are drinking Kool-Aid right now, and I'm not gonna drink that. Like, I'm gonna just walk off. And that's one of the reasons why, and it's the nail in the coffin, because if you are so politicked out that you cannot cry when somebody unalive, you're not as moral as you think you are. Sorry.
Now guys, this is the type of person that I talked about at the beginning, where so she's kind of moved from the Democrats to more of a conservative, independent. But I think that people who are at where she is now, Charlie Kirk's death moved them over to actually being a Republican. You know what I'm saying? And guys, I honestly think that the Democrats are going to get cooked in the midterms now. This person here says, I wouldn't say that I'm a Republican, but I stopped being a Democrat once my frontal lobe developed. So the fear-mongering's wild, and most of what they push isn't factual. Yeah, guys. Guys, what do you think? You know? Someone says, when they couldn't define a woman, they lost me. It's true, guys. It's absolutely true. Guys, you know what? R.I.P. to Charlie Kirk. Anyone who's still calling themselves a Democrat, you are a dunderhead through and through. But all right, you guys, this is AJ. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good one.